All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And roofers, this is going to be a fun workshop, I think. A lot of it's going to be conceptual because AI is just moving at such a fast pace. And honestly, we're not going to talk a whole lot about marketing. Okay, I know that that's what we do, but I've been diving really, really deep into AI and its possibilities and what we can do with it. Really on the automation side of things and building agents. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. All right. So let's just go ahead and jump right into things. So first of all, who am I? My name is Chris Hunter. I am the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com. I am also the author of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. If you don't have this book in your hand, wait till the end and I'll get you a free digital copy of that. Okay. All right. We are members of the NRCA, RCAT, HARCA, all of these letters. We're members of the roofing community and been around for a while. We have been helping roofing companies grow really in the past, I don't know, since 2018. Okay. And by the way, I've been doing search engine optimization since 1998. That really dates me. I know that. But my first website that I ranked honestly was on Yahoo. And that really, really, again, just dates me like there's no tomorrow, right? Okay, so random fact about me. I rode from College Station, Texas to Washington, D.C. in 2012 to raise money and awareness for pancreatic cancer. It was a solo ride. I did have my father-in-law with me as acting as my support and gear, but we did make it. It was 2,300 miles on a bicycle bike, not a motorcycle bike, but that is one random fact about me. Okay, next, we're on a mission. I'm on a mission to double the size of 100 roofing companies by 2028. We are well on our way on that. Especially after this past year, we have really been fine tuning all of our systems and really helping, roofers grow. And that's our sole goal. All right. So I know I said that I'm not going to talk about marketing, but I want to at least talk through really briefly my marketing system. This is our 4R roofing marketing system. It's what I wrote my book on. And it's made up of 4 pillars. Okay. The first pillar is your reputation. You can't really do anything that works for marketing unless you have a solid reputation. And we have found that out time and time and time again, is that we can do anything to, to actually do any kind of marketing, right? We actually have to have a very solid, reputation. Okay. Next is the next R is reach, getting in front of more people today than knew about you yesterday. This is when most people talk about marketing, this is what they think of, right? Search engine optimization, Google Maps, local service ads, Facebook ads, content marketing, social media, all of these things kind of get lumped in here. And again, it's just getting in front of more people today than knew about us yesterday. Okay. The next pillar is resell. You're 8 times more likely to sell to somebody that has purchased from you before and had a good experience. So why not go back to them again and again? We do this for our clients with cross-sell opportunities. Most of y'all sell gutters, windows, siding, solar. There's a lot of things that you can sell besides just roofing services and roofing repair. So we do help our clients go back to their well of clients. Okay. The next is referral, right? We all build our businesses at the first on referrals, but yet as we scale our business, the harder it is to actually, have this in place. And so what we do with our clients is we ensure that it is formalized. We ensure that it's on your website. We ensure that that every single person in your sphere of influence knows about your referral program. Okay. All right. So real brief, that was super brief. I know we're not going to talk at all about, we're going to talk a little bit about marketing today, but I don't want to focus all on that because AI really is extremely hot right now. Okay. And so most people by now have heard what ChatGPT is, right? ChatGPT was released, November, a couple of years ago. And Since then, more and more people are using ChatGPT on a regular basis. It is one of the main tools that really has brought AI to the forefront in the whole tech industry. I'm a geek, so I pay attention to tech trends and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me what's happening right now of what happened in 1997 and 1998. Okay, with the whole .com bubble. All right, if y'all remember that, and again, that really dates me. It also reminds me a lot of what has been happening, with these $1,000 machines that's been sitting in our pockets, right? These iPhone, when the iPhone when it was introduced, right, it started revolutionizing the way that people did business. Okay, AI is the same thing, and it's extremely hot topic, today. And there's just a lot of things that we have to pay attention to when it comes to that. Okay, so the problem is that a lot of people don't have a clue of where to even start when it comes to implementing AI in your business, and especially for a roofing company. It's like, where do you even start? Well, we're going to talk about each of the pieces of a roofing company, and we're going to talk about in how to conceptually, and I'm going to give you a few tools at the very end here of exactly how to start implementing AI into your business. Okay. By the way, I'd like to use memes, right? If you notice, every single one of these slides has a meme. It's there to bring a little bit of humor to everything that we're talking about. What we are on a mission here at roofingsites.com is helping our clients build an AI army. Okay. Why would we do this? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. The number one reason in my mind is to automate as much as we possibly can and make it to where we don't have to hire as many employees, which therefore makes us more profitable. Okay. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's what we really want. Okay. Is more profit, more money in our pockets. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about some possibilities. Right. If you look at this one, this meme, Siri reminded me to dye my hair tomorrow, please. Siri the next morning says dye today in the reminders. Okay. So that's kind of what has been happening, with this $1,000 machine sitting in our pocket. Siri just is not smart. Sorry, I can't say that too loud. It's gonna pop up here on my iPhone, but it's just not very smart yet. Okay, but I guarantee it is coming. Apple has invested a lot of money in AI. They have invested a lot of into the tech itself, the phones coming out. I believe the 16s and the 17s are going to come with a smart Siri inside of it. Okay, so your personal assistant, this is the first promise that we have had of AI, and I believe that it's starting to come. Now, if y'all paid attention, there's also a lot of other things that's out there, like the Ray-Ban glasses. I don't know if you've seen those. That will, and by the way, that hooks up to Facebook or to Meta. Okay, and Meta has invested a lot of money into their into AI as well. Okay, so that's one thing to really consider here, is that the first promise, the first possibility for all of us is to have a personal assistant that's sitting in our pocket. Now, will everybody invest in those really expensive glasses? Probably not. But I guarantee you've got some of these sitting in your pocket right now, okay, or possibly in your ear, right? So Apple has done an excellent job, and Android has done an excellent job with these AirPods and earbuds, right? A lot of people are walking around with these in their ears. Well, guess what's going to happen when Siri gets smart? When you can say, Siri, book me a table at my favorite restaurant at 6 p.m. for me and my wife. And it actually goes and does that. Okay. That's the promise of what's coming, and it's coming very, very fast. All right. Next, the promise of AI and the possibility of AI is really for businesses, is to streamline your processes. This is the biggest promise here, right? And it's coming at a super fast rate. OpenAI, I don't know if you've heard, but maybe a couple of weeks ago, they released an agent. It's called these agents are coming. Okay, OpenAI released an agent that can go out and do things on your behalf. Okay, you have to pay for the higher plan right now with ChatGPT, with OpenAI. You have to pay for the $200 plan in order to get that capability. right? And we've played around with it a little bit, and it's actually pretty good. Okay. And you do have to do a lot of babysitting with it right now, but eventually down the road, it's not going to have as much that we're going to have to do on that. Okay. But coming back to this is that streamlining our processes. I mean, one that's it's important for any business to do that anyways. Okay. That you should put systems into place in your business but making those streamlined using AI is very important. Okay. The next is the promise here of less employees, right? As we scale our businesses, we don't have to hire as many employees. We can have the employees use the AI agents in order to get their jobs done. And so, therefore, you have less employees. And guess what? You're going to get more done and you're going to make more profit. Again, coming full circle back to that is that you're going to have more money in your pocket because of agents that are coming, right? Because of AI and the ability to run AI. Okay, let's talk about a roofing organization. Okay, roofing organization, typically you have, the roofer that starts out the business, right? And they're doing everything. They're doing everything in the business. Okay, but as you grow, you typically have these main five departments. You have marketing, you have sales, you have operations, you have HR, and you have finance. Okay, those five main roles in any company is super, super important. But guess what? You can automate a lot of the things in each one of these. And I know it's going to be hard for roofing companies to be able to automate, putting a roof on, right, or doing a roof repair. But some of the other things that people hate to do, okay, those are the ideal things to streamline here. Okay, so let's talk about marketing. And I said we're not going to spend too much time on this, but what can you automate? And this is really where when we started hearing about Chat GPT, these are the things that started getting automated. Okay, first one, content. A lot of what Chat GPT does, and a lot of what some of the other tools do, or have gotten very good at in the past couple of years, is content. Okay. And especially, and I'm going to show you how to do this, but especially if you train Chat GPT on your company, how you talk, how you speak, your voice. Okay. If you can do that, then that content that comes out of that is very, very good. Otherwise, it sounds awful robotic. Okay. SEO. This is I've been doing search engine I told y'all, right, since 1998. I ranked my first website on Yahoo. And that entire time, okay, since Google came out, I concentrated on Google, but almost everything that we do is content related, going back to number one for search engine optimization. Okay. So it just makes sense that ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, all of these tools can help us build content and help improve our search engine optimization, basically ranking on Google. Okay. Number three, social media. It's really hard to do social media. It's really, really hard. And if you have no idea what you're supposed to post or how you're going to, what intervals that you need to be posting things or anything like that, then ChatGPT can 100% help you with that. It can help build you an entire schedule. It can tell you what to post. It can actually build those posts for you and with you. Okay, that's what I typically like to do is to build them with ChatGPT as me guiding it like an employee. Okay, just like as an assistant that I'm talking with. Okay, number four, ads. Okay, how do you automate ads? Well, the big part of any kind of ad, again, comes to that number one piece is content, right? So we have to be able to write content that resonates with our target audience. Okay, that demonstrates that we are the omnipresent roofer, that we are the trusted roofer to work with versus a choice, right? We always want to be the choice versus a choice, and that's what some of this can help with. Okay, that's what ChatGPT can help with, but again, you've got to train it on you so it doesn't sound so robotic. Okay, next, let's talk about sales. How can we automate sales? Well, the number one thing that we have issues with when we bring a client on, and work with a client, work with a roofer is their voice, right? Not their voice, sorry, their calls, getting their phone calls and answering the phone. We are all inundated these days with phone calls. Okay, all of us. And if you don't have a team behind you, actually, taking the sales, taking people's phone calls, right, then that's an issue. The other part is right here where I put down here chat agent. Okay, the chat agent. There's so many different avenues that people are coming to us from these days, right? They're coming from, Instagram, they're coming from Facebook, they're coming from WhatsApp, they're coming from all of these different avenues, SMS, right? Email. If you don't have a way to follow up with those people, those leads are going to completely fall through the crack. Okay. So one of our first AI agents that we built for us and our clients is a chat agent. Okay. Last year at this time, no one had heard about those things. Right now, they are very, very. Almost every company out there is starting to or has implemented a chat agent in their business. Okay, to help them with this onslaught of messages that we get from all over the place. Then the second thing that we did, and I'll demonstrate this here in a second. The second thing that we did is we created a voice agent. Okay. Something that could take our phone calls because again, we had some clients that were answering 1 out of every 10 phone calls. And that's just unacceptable when you're paying to have someone drive calls to your business. Okay. And if you wait a day to get back with them or till the end of the day to get back with that homeowner, guess what's happened? They have moved on. Okay. We also had a lot of our roofing companies, as we listened to phone calls, we had a lot of our roofing companies that were they had a receptionist, which was great, but that receptionist that was taking that phone call wasn't trained on sales. They weren't trained to set the appointment right then and there. And guess what happened? And they would grab the information and they would hand it over to a salesperson. But the salesperson, by the time that they finally got back to that homeowner, that homeowner was long gone. They called 4 to 5 other roofing companies by the time and literally went with the one company that set the appointment. Okay. So that was our other objective here is to make sure that our voice AI agent would be able to take the phone call, not only take the phone call, grab the information, but also set the appointment. Okay. So here's the demonstration of it real quick. It's going to ring twice. We have it typically set to ring 4 times, but
this call will be recorded for quality purposes. Hi there. This is Samantha, an AI receptionist for Demo Roofing. Are you calling to schedule a roofing inspection for repair or replacement?
Repair.
Great. Could I get your name, please?
Yeah, it's Chris Hunter.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your name is Chrisshunter. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Awesome, Chris. What seems to be going on with your roof?
I've got a leak near my chimney.
Got it. A leak near the chimney. Could I get your email address to set up the appointment?
Sure. It's chris@roofingsites.com.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your email address is chris@roofingsites.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Could you also provide your address, please?
Sure. It's 1511 Texas Avenue.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your address is 1511 Texas Avenue. What city is that in?
That's in College Station.
Great. So your address is 1511 Texas Avenue in College Station. Now let's schedule that appointment with one of our roofing experts. What day and time works best for you?
How about tomorrow at 4?
Our service hours end at 5, so we can schedule you for 4 tomorrow. Let me confirm, that's Friday, February 21st at 4 p.m. Does that work for you?
That sounds great.
Awesome. Your appointment is confirmed for Friday, February 21st at 4 p.m. One of our roofing experts will follow up with you after this call to get any other details they might need. If you have any questions, feel free to call us. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, you too. So that was a demonstration of our voice agent that we built. These things are pretty cool. We have built these right now and we're implementing them for our clients in this quarter. But we built it for incoming phone calls. So that's one very big possibility. And this, in my opinion, solves the biggest issue in the roofing industry, that we have is answering our phones and setting the appointment. Okay. So that's just one of the things out there, right? So the next one in sales, when it comes to sales, is estimates, right? Estimates are hard to do. They are hard to get out the door. They are hard to ensure that we're doing those things in a timely manner. If you're the one man show out there, I've got a client that he's just struggled with this, and we helped him get set up with Roofle. Okay. And we have it to where he's now down to about an hour after he meets with a client to getting an estimate out. Okay. That's and I put this in the AI bucket because guess what? They're going to be adding more and more, AI features to every single one of those software. There's Roofle, there's Roofer, there is Eagle Eye. There's all of these AI tools that are coming out that are providing extremely good estimates. And really, the whole point on the sales piece here is that it's speed to lead, speed to sale, right? The faster that you can do any of those things, the more streamlined you can make that, the better. Okay. And the more sales you will actually make. All right. Let me see. Next, follow up. In the past couple of years, I've talked to probably a couple of thousand roofing company owners. Okay. The number one thing that they struggle with beyond these other items is follow up. They don't know how good that their sales staff is doing on follow up. If they're one man, shop, then it's really hard because you have so many hats on. Well, what if you had an AI agent that acted on your behalf that sounded, by the way, just like you, that could follow up with any of your prospects anywhere that they are in the sales funnel. And it follows up differently for each one of those stages of the sales funnel because we have main stages, right? We have lead coming in, okay? We have appointments, we send the estimate, and then we got to close, okay? So if you had an agent that could follow up at each one of those stages on your behalf via SMS, via email, via direct message, any which way, right? And we're starting to look into building voice agents for calling as well. Okay. What if that could be completely automated? I mean, imagine what that would do for your sales. Okay. If you could increase your sales close rate from what I typically see at 10 to 20% when they first come to us to a 25 to 50% rate, imagine what that's going to do to your company. Okay. So that's the possibilities that we have for sales here, right? Is to really truly build a sales engine without having to hire and train a whole bunch of people, right? Okay, so now let's talk about operations. All right, and this one, I chuckled at this. When your boss finally brings an AI customer support software to help you manage all these support tickets, he gets the world's best boss. Okay, so what can we do with operations? Well, it's going to be hard to have it, AI get up on the roof. That might eventually come with robots. They might eventually create those things, but I'm not sure on that one. Okay. But there's all sorts of other things that go along with operations, right? Job scheduling, making sure that you have the job scheduled out, make sure that you have the materials for the jobs, right? Make sure you have the people out there, right? That they are scheduled as well. AI can take care of all that stuff. Okay. Number two, customer service. People call in and they have an issue. You want someone there, right? But again, this comes back to, are you answering your phones, right? And how are you responding to those customer service requests, right? AI is going to do an excellent job with all of that, all of the above, okay? And probably, sorry, better than us, okay? Just throwing that out there. So we can do that via chat. We can do that via voice, like I demonstrated with the voice agent. We also have a customer service voice agent that comes in. One of the things that I forgot to mention here is when I called, and I was kind of talking about it, but it goes so quick. It gave me the opportunity because it was actually calling my cell phone. It gave me the opportunity to pick it up, which is what we always want. So we have it set to where it rings 4 times. Okay. It gives you the opportunity to pick it up. If you don't have the capability to do that, or your normal sales staff that picks up that phone is, I don't know, at lunch, sleeping in the restroom, then the AI agent picks it up. The same thing goes with customer service. We always want to pick up the phone if we possibly can, but the AI can take over after that. Oh, I forgot. HR. One of the biggest pains that we also find is it's hard to hire people. It's hard to take the time to do it. It's hard to, put that all out there, right? And so we want to ensure, that we can hire the right people. Well, guess what? AI can help us with this, right? It can help us screen candidates because sometimes when you put a job listing out there, let's say that we want to hire, an ops manager or a foreman, let's say, right? We put a job application out there, we get an onslaught of resumes. Okay. And when I say an onslaught, the last time we put a resume out there, we probably got 300 or more candidates before we finally turned that ad off. Okay. So it's hard to sift through all that stuff, isn't it? Well, guess what? AI can do that, right? It can analyze those resumes. It can even schedule the interviews, right? With the ones that fit the criteria. It can also conduct the initial interviews. Imagine that, right? Where it calls into a specific number, the AI picks up, it goes through a list of questions and records how that person answered, analyzes it, and then tells you which the best candidates are to interview. So instead of having to go through 300 of them, you maybe go through five. That's a massive increase. I don't know about y'all, but that would be a massive increase on the ability to actually bring in the right people, right? Without it being a major pain. I've got a friend who's done automated all of these things, right? That he actually built software that not only uses AI, but it also analyzes their personality. Okay, that will get the right person for you, right? It does the DISC, it does the Colby, it does all of these different personality tests, and based off of the role that you're hiring for, it helps you find the exact right person. And it's pretty cool. Okay, so all right. Well, I forgot about finance too. Finance is, one of the major legs of our company. Okay. Accounts receivable. All right. Ain't nobody got time for that, for doing manual accounts receivable. Right. Um, Number one on the list here is bookkeeping. And we all hate to do bookkeeping. And it's just the one thing that I put off and just put it off and put it off and put it off. Right. And it's just, I don't like it. And that's not my personality to do things like that. So I would much rather have AI take care of that. What about invoicing? It could take care of that as well. Okay. Tracking, follow up, forecasting, right? All of those things it can help with in the industry. The major players are investing heavily into AI because they realize the capabilities that it can do. QuickBooks, it's gonna eventually be able to do all of this stuff for us. Okay. Right now, it's automating the follow up on invoices. Okay. You can and it's more of a not fully automated, but it helps come up with the emails to send out for accounts receivable. Okay. If you got someone that's, 30 days, 60 days past due, it can help you with that follow up. Okay. So pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure like even the bookkeeping end of things, it's gotten better. I've noticed on how it's actually tracking those things and putting those in the right places versus having to remember, all of these singular transactions, stuff like that. Now, I'm going to say that I don't typically use QuickBooks. My business partner does all the QuickBooks stuff, but these are the things that we've talked about. Okay. Okay. So let me give you a few keys to AI. Number one, when we're talking about all of this stuff, we're also talking a little bit about automation. How do we automate that? Because really with ChatGPT, it's great, but it's like having an employee that you have to tell what to do every single time. Okay. Me, I'd rather have an employee that just does it, right? I train it how to do it and it does it, right? And that employee does it. Well, we can do the same with AI here, right? But the key that I'm finding is that because there's so many possibilities in our business, is that if we just say, okay, what's the biggest thing that I can do right now that will move me forward, and let's streamline that process. Okay. Not only streamline the process, but also, I mean, shoot, you can have GPT help you come up with a way to actually do it, right? To automate that process completely. Okay. Things like what I've talked about, sales, right? Marketing, and I know that's saying that coming from a marketing company owner, right? But you can streamline a lot of these things using AI. But it sure helps if you already have the systems in place. If you don't have systems in place for each of these with SOPs and clear directions on exactly what you do at either one of these steps, it's going to make it a lot harder. Okay, so first systemize, and if you don't know how to do that, right, there are lots of great books about that. E-Myth is probably one of my favorites, right? And E-Myth Revisited, those two. Checklist Manifesto is another one that I remember reading a long time ago. Systemology. I literally interviewed David Jennings on who's the author of Systemology. He's got software that'll help you systemize your business. Okay. All right. Next is train AI on your company. You don't want AI in general sounding robotic and not sounding like you. I think that's what a lot of people's problems are, right? Is that they don't know how to make it sound just like you. Okay. And so it comes out very robotic. It says things that you would never say, and I like to equate it to, if I were training my 13-year-old daughter how to do a task in my business, I wouldn't just say, hey, go do it. Right. I would train her exactly how to do it step by step. Okay. And this goes for any employee, but I'm just using my 13-year-old as an example. I would train her step by step of exactly what to do and have her ask me questions of what she's getting stuck on. Okay. You can do the same thing with ChatGPT. You can do the same thing with any AI that's out there. But the point on this is make sure that you train AI on you and your company, your personality, your voice, how you want it to sound, things that you would say and wouldn't say. What your service, I mean, we heard in the phone call there, it knew the hours of operation. By the way, it also knows the service area. If I would have said Houston, it would have said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's outside of our service area." Okay, so, and by the way, if you're coming from around the country, College Station is 90 miles northwest of Houston, so that's a little bit out of service area for College Station. Okay, so let's talk about tools. There are so many freaking tools that are out there. By the way, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm sitting here laughing because I had to put this picture in here. This was an image that was generated by AI, and it just made me laugh when I came across this on Google when I was looking for memes for this workshop. Okay, so what tools do I use? Okay, let's just start there. I use ChatGPT. I'm a heavy user of ChatGPT. Okay, I use it probably about 20, 30, 40 times a day at least. Okay. I use it for all sorts of things, not just marketing. I use it for sales. In fact, lately I've been having it analyze my sales calls. Okay. And tell me what I could have done better. Okay. With those sales calls and the questions I should be asking and really how can I improve my own sales process? So I've been having it act as a coach for me on that. Number 2, custom GPTs. If you don't know what custom GPTs are, basically these are specifically trained GPTs that you can create or other people can create and share with you. Okay. In that are inside of ChatGPT. I have one that's my personal assistant. It's trained on me, my company, my personality, my goals, my company goals. It's trained on all of my employees. It's trained on our rocks for this quarter and the big things that we need to achieve. And so therefore every morning I give it my tasks, that are on my plate. And it comes back and tells me who in my organization should be doing that I can delegate some of those things to. Okay. So kind of a cool thing, but this was a custom GPT that I built for myself to help me be more efficient. The coach, sales coaching, same thing. I trained it on Jeremy Miner. I trained it on Adam Bensman, right? I trained him on how it can act as those people and coach me. Okay. So it's kind of like having those coaches sitting in my back pocket. Well, you could do the same thing for your employees, right? And help it coach them. Perplexity is another tool that I use quite a bit. I use it for fact finding and fact finding only. I've found that it's not as good as ChatGPT or the next one I'm going to talk about here in a second, Claude. It's not as good at building content or thinking critically, and so, but it is really good at search. Okay, anything that I want to search for, let's say I need steps on how to do something specific, right? It goes out there and it's real time with the internet, so it can go out there and grab, um, the exact way to do it right now. Okay, because all of our tools change in the tech industry so fast that ChatGPT, which was trained on last year's data, by the way, okay, on actually I think it was trained on 2023's data. Okay, so we want to make sure when I'm going out there and I'm searching and I'm trying to figure out processes, trying to figure out things that are happening right now, I go to Perplexity. Okay. Next tool, Claude. Claude is built by a company called Anthropic. It is very good at building content. Okay. So that's one of the tools that I use to help me generate content that I want to put out there. Okay. N8N is a new one for me, and it's a weird name, N8N. Okay. But it's kind of like Zapier or Make.com. It's a way to automate things. The cool part is that they built these little AI agents, all right, into it. And so I essentially what I have been doing the past couple of weeks is I'm building an AI army, right? That's trained on me, my company, that can do a lot of really cool things. Okay. So I will warn you, N8N is extremely technical. Okay. And it took me a week just to put this in perspective. I'm a geek, right? I'm pretty good at tech stuff. I'd like to think that I am. It took me a week to figure out how to integrate it with the Gmail platform. Okay, because it's just not straightforward. It's not easy. Okay, so just be warned that yes, you can automate a lot of things with N8N and have it build basically agents for you and your business to do a lot of these things that we've talked about here today. But it is very, very technical. All right, and I have to throw a plug in for our CRM, the Appointment Machine CRM. We have a lot of workflows that we have built out for our clients, as well as ones that we are building for them. So, for instance, the appointment scheduler, the voice appointment scheduler, we built that into the Appointment Machine. We built in the chatbot. We're currently working on the follow-up agent. Okay, for those different stages of follow-up. We're going to be building more and more into the Appointment Machine. It's got a really great place for building those automated workflows. And of course, agents. Agents are coming. They're coming soon. Okay, one has been released by OpenAI. We talked about that earlier. What is an agent? An agent is basically something that can go out there autonomously and do things for you on your behalf. Okay, so the one I gave illustration of earlier was, having Siri, if it were smart, and it's going to come, and telling it as a personal assistant to go out there and schedule a restaurant, or maybe go, hey, book me a flight for a month from now during spring break for me and my family to go to Orlando. Okay, so those things are coming. They're going to be very common in the next I'm thinking 2 to 3 years maximum. As soon as Siri actually gets smart, that's going to be the start of these things. And I think that we can create agents on our behalf for our business, inside of those. Okay, I've talked a lot here. I'm going to show you a few screenshots that I took and explain them a little bit. I talked a lot about training GPT specifically on your business, but every AI has the same kind of process, whether it's through their API interface or whether it's through their tool that they've created, like ChatGPT. There's a way to train it. This is how you train ChatGPT on you specifically. Okay, you can under your little icon in the upper right hand corner. Just click on your face and it'll drop down a menu, and you can customize chat GPT there. And this is what it looks like. You can put custom instructions in there. You could tell it how you can do have it respond. Okay. The next level is AI assistance. All right. This is in the back end of OpenAI interface. It's in their API section. Okay. But they've got these things called assistants, which, by the way, are exactly like ChatGPT's custom GPTs. Okay. To build. And basically you tell it to do a specific task. Actually, what we're looking at here is custom GPTs. All right. The interface is very, very similar. So that throws me off sometimes. Okay. So this is a custom GPT. And again, this is something that you can create to do a very specific task. You have to be very specific on the prompting that you give it. And a prompt is just simply instructions. Okay. But you have to be very, very specific and test it to do exactly what you want it to do. So in this case, what I have here is our article assistant that we created for our internal staff to use. Okay, and if you notice, there's a couple of PDFs down there. Okay, these are how we trained it. All right, to write exactly like what our writers have written like for the past 10 years. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The next one is an illustration. This is my personal assistant that I was talking about. And this has instructions in it with training of exactly who I am, what my business is, who's in my business, all of those things. And it knows down to my personality level, right? I fed it my Colby, my disc, and several others that I've taken. I've fed it all of that information. It knows what I'm good at. It knows what I'm not good at. Okay. And so I ask it to do specific things. I also ask it to, guide me on what I should delegate out of my task list for the week. So, this is pretty cool, and it's made me very, very efficient. And made it to where I'm not working on things that I shouldn't be, that I'm in my genius zone as much as I possibly can be. Okay. Next, here's what I was talking about earlier. These are the assistants, OpenAI assistants. This is the difference between custom GPTs and assistants. Okay. Is that you have to hook the assistant up to software. Okay. But the cool part is that I can use a tool like either Make, Zapier, or what I've been playing around with N8N, right? To actually have a very specific assistant to do a very specific task that I've trained down to the, tiniest detail of exactly what I want to do, what I want it to do. Okay. The possibilities are pretty endless. Again, go back to your processes and see what's the biggest thing holding you back and automate that. Okay. Do that. Here's an example of N8N. So I'm personally currently right now building an executive assistant for myself. Okay. This executive assistant is going to be able to email on my behalf. It's going to be able to set up calendar invites. Okay. It's going to have all of my contacts, so it can contact whoever I need it to contact, and it can create content for me. Okay. There's a couple of other things that I have planned for this as an executive assistant, but I think that this is going to help me tremendously, right? Because using Telegram, right, that's my next step here on integrating all of this here, is that with using Telegram, I'll be able to speak into my phone. It'll be able to transcribe it and feed it into OpenAI, okay, to do any of these tasks that I want it to do. Okay, this is next level stuff. And this is the stuff that we're looking into heavily on helping our clients automate as much as we possibly can. Because again, that makes them more profitable. That makes them be able to grow. Okay, because imagine if you only had a couple of employees, but yet you're at the $2 to $5 million level. Okay, how much more of that money is going to go back into your pocket simply by having all of these AI assistants? I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so here are the steps. We're at almost an hour here. Okay, Here are the steps to train AI on your company. One, gather as much information as you can. Okay. Um, I like to, and when I say gather information, this is information to be able to train AI on you. Okay. Anything that's written, anything that's been recorded, okay, of you talking, gather the information and feed it the information like I talked about. If you want to take personality tests, right, that really helps to give it the knowledge that it needs to write just like you. Okay. The posts that come out of my personal assistant, they're pretty spot on. Okay. It knows exactly how I want to talk. Then number two, choose a platform. You know, if you haven't played around with it, I would look into ChatGPT. I would set up and test setting up a custom GPT for one of those tasks. If it works there, because the cool part about custom GPTs is that you can share that out with your employees. Okay. And your employees can have access. They just have to have their Chat GPT account. They can have access to those assistants or custom GPTs. Okay. Pick a platform, right? And get really good at it, and then train it. Train it on you. Train it on your content. If you've got anything recorded, like I said, just feed that to them. Okay. And then get feedback, right? And fine tune that personal assistant of mine. I think it's about 500-600 lines of instructions that I've given it. But as I come up with things, I add to it over time. Yeah. So you've got to give it a feedback loop, just like with an employee, right? And if it's not doing exactly what you want it to do, you've got to give it instructions on how to do exactly what you want it to do. Okay. All right. So that's about it. I've got a few more things here. Wanted to quickly again go over our roofing marketing system: 4 pillars: reputation, reach, resell, and referral. This is what we put all of our clients into with all of our programs to ensure that they have a working marketing system. Okay. Okay, since you've stayed here to the end, you can get this free book in your hands. Just use this QR code to go to our free download page for this book, for the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. It is the exact blueprint of what we do for our clients. Okay, the exact blueprint. Now, a little bit has changed in the past year since I've written that, but not a whole lot. Okay. It outlines the framework that I just talked about, as well as lets you know that, hey, if this piece stops working, let's replace it with something else that does inside of each of those pillars. Oh, by the way, go to go.roofingsites.com. If you are listening to this on the podcast later, that's where you can go download the book at go.roofingsites.com. Next, if you like knowing how all this stuff works, but you really just want to hire someone to do all this stuff for you, we're here to do it for you. Go to this or whatever, scan this AI code, no QR code, or go to roofingsites.com/schedule to schedule a time with me to figure out how to make your roofing company more profitable. And really, our goal is to double the size of your business in 12 to 18 months. So part of that is marketing. Other parts are coming soon. Okay, including all the sales stuff, the operations, everything that we went over today. That's my blueprint for the next year to 2 years of building all of these agents out to help all of our clients as well as ourselves. Okay. All right. Oh, did I say that? I don't think I did for y'all listening in on the podcast. If you want to book a time with me, just go to roofingsites.com/schedule. Okay, in order to book a time with me to talk about how we can help you.